Hey Canada, so fortunate to be here sitting with award-winning film directors of Freaks. I wasn't looking at you.
Hey, I'm a freak.
Zach Lipovsky, Adam Stein.
What's up, Canada?
He's a freak too.
Aren't all of us freaks,
We're all
really,
freaks. We're all
inside?
What are freaks?
We're here to talk today about how to work with children.
Oh.
You made a phenomenal award-winning film. It has swept festivals around the world, opening in theaters in the US and Canada, with the star being a very talented young lady, Lexi Fulker,
She's amazing.
and other children. And so for emerging filmmakers out there and existing filmmakers, we'd love to know what are some of the secrets and ways that you've discerned to be able to work in a safe, healthy, powerful way with children and get the performances that become ultimately award-winning.
Well, one of the toughest things with kids is their parents and them over study the lines, because their parents are like, you better know your lines. So they come to set with like super memorization, but they've like almost memorized out the heart or the reason for even the line, because they're like reciting it perfectly from memory but without any feeling. So a lot of what we do is we try and find ways of breaking them out of that, either by slightly changing the line so it's not exactly how they memorized it, or by connecting it to real things from their life. So if it's a scene where they're really angry, we get them to think about things that have actually made them really angry. And sometimes we even just improvise that, just to get them in that emotion. And then we just slowly slip them back into the scene, because sometimes they over-rehearse themselves into just being super stiff.
I mean, kids are so incredibly creative, and I think what makes a bad kid performance is often, like you were saying, drumming that creativity out of them because they're nervous about getting the line right. And so I think a lot of it has to do with just creating a warm, happy, creative atmosphere on set. Sets that have a lot of stress, or where people are, yelling at each other, and you could feel the time pressure. Any of you who have been on set probably have experienced that at one time or another.
Especially when there's kids.
Those are
much more
that's
time.
That's no good for kid performances, because they want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can kind of keep the environment sort of warm and nurturing in that way, I think it draws good performances. The casting is a huge part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Finding the right kid, and Lexi is incredible in this movie. She's a total superstar.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be winning Oscars in the future.
Totally.
She was 7 years old when we filmed it. She actually had her 8th birthday on set. But finding her was quite a interesting challenge.
And we did the auditioning in a very different way. We, instead of auditioning with a big table and having them stand across from us and, again, something that would feel very formal and very stiff, we didn't have a table. We were just sitting on the ground with our shoes off with coloring books and just said, come on in, sit down. I was just kind of holding a camera in my lap. And we just started improvising just things from her life. Not even, just said, let's not deal with the script right now. And just had her and all the kids kind of be themselves. And then eventually started just working the lines in, and that made them much more comfortable. And we were able to get much more powerful performances out of them.
And for those of you who have not seen the film, which is coming to theaters, and in theaters in America and Canada, this performance by Lexi is arresting. It is evoking of tears, joy, laughter, all the things.
Vengeance.
Power. It's really something to see for this performance alone, let alone the A-list star actors she's working with. But it really was something incredible, and she truly holds and is the star of this phenomenal suspense thriller film.
Yeah.
Most people go into the movie because of our stars, Emile Hirsch and Bruce Dern, but they all come out of the movie only talking about her. She's truly, she's in every scene. She drives the entire movie.
Yeah, it was really fun to see her work with Bruce, who is a 2-time Oscar nominee, legendary career. He was 82 and she was 7, and seeing them in scenes together. I mean, it's very rare that you get that kind of age spread in a movie. It's hard to imagine another movie with a 75-year age difference between co-stars, and there's a lot of fun to be had in that, and it's relatable because it's got this sort of grandparent aspect to it, but it's it's also just unpredictable and fun to see them go at each other.
It really, truly is. It is such a joy. The film has so many sci-fi thriller suspense elements to it, and then these endearing moments with Bruce Stern and Lexi. What would Lexi say if she was here?
Hey guys, she's like a super bubbly, like she's very, very, which is funny because in the movie there's some pretty intense like moments, and when we show the movie, this happened at TIFF at the world premiere.
Yeah.
She was there for the world premiere night, and everyone saw the movie and was like, wow, that was really intense. And then she's super bubbly, and
she's like the happiest little girl I've ever seen.
And then the next night she wasn't there, and the first question from the audience was, is that girl okay? Because in the movie she's very different than she is in person. So the girl's okay, don't worry. She's a very happy, giggly little girl.
She's drawn comparisons to Drew Barrymore, Punky Brewster,
Yeah.
Blossom.
What?
Oh yeah, we've heard it, and she's just dynamite. But of course, that takes working in a safe, healthy environment. Really being able to be cognizant of what, as you said, might bring that performance out and fostering those healthy environments. It's amazing, and thank you that you do that because it's so important. Children are different than we are.
Yeah, well, I'm a dad, and we wrote this movie kind of inspired by my kids at first. We actually thought my kid might be in it before we had any money to hire an actor. And so it was very important that we kind of still keep that kind of family environment on set.
It's really incredible. So for all you emerging directors, I just want to throw this back a minute because you were a TV child actor yourself.
I was, yeah. I used to act from the age of 5 till 18. Yeah.
Arguably now still.
Still a bit of a ham. Yeah. But yeah, when I was a kid, I just loved being on film sets, and the easiest way of doing that as a kid was to be an actor and do make-believe. But very quickly I realized being behind the camera was pretty cool too.
Do you remember experiences with a director that actually changed that might have influenced now how you work with children?
Well, there's one thing I always remember. I was in an episode of Goosebumps, which at the time was like the biggest thing in my world because I loved all the Goosebumps books. And the director of that episode, before every single take, for like 3 weeks while we did that episode, he said, "Lots of energy now, action!" And so now every time I'm directing a kid, I think of that in my head.
Do you say it?
It's just like,
have you ever said it?
I've probably said it several times. It's just like it's burned into my soul.
What do you say?
I want to see that episode.
What do you say before you get them going?
Oh my gosh, it just depends on what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to say that before a scene where she's, crying. But I think what we did on Freaks was really something Zach said earlier, which was think about what is the essence of this scene about, and what might be in Lexi's own life that is similar to that. So maybe she's never gotten into a creepy ice cream man's truck before. I hope she hasn't. But what is something that she's done where she's broken the rules without her parents knowing? Like that could be something from her life that we kind of talk to her about before the scene happens so that she has that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm going to get caught here when she's about to start doing the scene. So it's really, for this movie, it was about finding that realism.
This film has really powerful interpersonal dynamics between the different children in it. We've spoken about Lexi, but there really are some scenes that are very powerful with groups of children, bringing that suspense. A really powerful performance by young Ava Telek. And that very intricate dynamic between her and Lexi's character really stands out in this film because those are the times where she gets to be a kid with other kids within these circumstances
Yeah, it
of
was
awkwardness.
interesting. On set, there was she's sort of the outsider from the other kids, and naturally on set, they all wanted to hang out and just be besties and play with each other's hair, and we actually kept separating her from the group because we didn't want her to be so much part of their group and super friendly with them. We wanted her to kind of, because in the movie she's sort of an outsider, and so it was kind of interesting. Sort of, we kept having to kind of wedge ourselves in there and be like, don't hang out with them quite yet. You know, like once we're done, you can all go play. And you know, I think in the end that helped.
And was your approach with Ava different than with Lexi?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so,
she's
yeah.
a little older, so she was able to kind of play with a little bit more wisdom.
Yeah, yeah, and that relationship is really about, you know, Lexi's character, Chloe, in the movie, yearns for a friend and has never had one before because she's been trapped in this house by her father for her whole life. And so she sees Harper, the girl across the street, and yearns to be her friend. But because of all the danger in this world, it's not to be. And so there's a lot of like kind of the sort of yearning we all have to be accepted, and the feelings of rejection and stuff like that are really, I think, relatable for everyone. That we, you know, talk to them both about.
Certainly incredible performances with all the young ones.
I think kids understand things a lot more than adults usually think they do. You know, kids get things, especially emotional things. Kids are very, very emotional. And so when you're talking to them on an emotional level, like, you ever really want to be friends with someone that doesn't want to be friends with you? Like, that's something every kid gets, you know? So even talking to them on that level, like, can be very, get good results on film, I think.
Well, it worked. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I can't wait for you to see the young, stellar performances in Freaks, in theaters. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.